Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to RaceFace.Pro and welcome to the final round of the GT3 Sprint Series. My name is Stephen Koenig, glad to have you guys here, and we are in for an absolute treat. The final round of the GT3 Series and quite possibly the end of an era of ACC GT3 Sprint Series. So, good to have you guys here, and it is going to be a championship round because it's come down to the final race to make it or break it here. Daniel de Villiers leads out the pack in his Nissan GTR in first in the championship, followed by his teammate Dean Norkier running in second. Johan Bloknoot runs in third, Gerrit Bukers in fourth place, Henry Platz in fifth, Brandon Kruger in sixth, Ruben van der Walt in seventh, Chris Collison, Herman Pavikel, along with Paul the Wall Venter, who won't be in the car today because he has filed for a divorce against his Honda. So he is out for this race. Jason Farmer, who is out on the circuit and going to be really fighting it out. Jason Farmer, who's currently in second place, wearing the Griffin Sim Racing colors for the second last time before switching over to PWSR full-time. So Jason Farmer wanting to end it right with the team and bring in a couple of victories as well tonight and tomorrow before switching over to the new. So Fleming Power is currently leading out the pack. Now, for many people that are wondering, Fleming Bauer, hang on, that name sounds familiar. Yes, it does. Fleming Bauer originally was with the Martin Martians Racing, switched to Eleanor, then went to the Martian colors again before signing up with Pandacity, the esports organization, to go and rock out with his mate Henry Mayer. Jason Farmer runs in second place at the moment, looking to really put down those laps as quick as he can. Gerrit Bukes running down in third. Fourth place is Conor Bergstrom, Daniel Hitman de Villiers in fifth, Kerry Finsale in sixth, Herman Pavikel currently running in seventh position, Ruben van der Walt in eighth. Looks to try and get some drive out of the car. And then we've got Jean Verveers, Jeffrey Leroux, Henry Platz, Tristan Herbst down in 12th and out there in the Bentley. So changed the car again and is now trying out something a little bit different to what he's been in. But interesting to see him out. So far he's been in a variety of different vehicles. Loic Granabel running in 14th position. Chris Buurmester runs in 15th. Dean Norkier runs in 16th. 17th is Henk Pedersen, along with the Bet Monkeys, who is racing out. And one of our newer drivers here to the series. Go see him out and having a bit of fun. Hansi Myberg runs in 19th under the team Try Hard. And then we've got Hunko Mankeys. So we have got two family members of the Mankeys team. Going to have a bit of fun there. Johan Bloknoot runs in 21st and Chris Collison running in 22nd. Now, Chris Collison has been actually doing rather well out in the world of Le Mans Ultimate, so he's been looking forward to having a bit of fun. But taking a look over to our absolute legendary virtual grandstands, we've got the biggest, the baddest, and we have got the likes of Antonio Gamble going and saying, Jason Farmer, my boy, and supporting the Griffins going racing. Absolutely fantastic. Going and watching the final drive under the Griffins banner for Jason Farmer, but still going to have a huge amount of support and two of our big fans out there. Big welcome to you all. Glad to have you here. So far, one time not on the board, and that's Chris Collison, where the Mankeys fellows are running pretty well, actually. Up into 16th and one into 21st, trying to get to grips with the Ferrari 296. Always glad to have some new blood, some new drivers out there and fighting it out. Tennis Puerta going and saying, how's it from the grandstands? And I do want to also point out, Tennis Puerta going and tuning in and to say, how's it? I believe that Tennis Puerta, you've been in hospital recently. So speedy recovery. Looking forward to seeing you back out on track. And once again, don't worry, we've got a booster seat for you. I'll share you mine. Don't stress, okay? We've got each other covered there, buddy. Absolutely fantastic. We've got David Van Veek as well going and cheering on. So, at the moment, time to beat in Dean Norkier out in first place at 1:27.8. with Fleming Bauer in second place, Jason Farmer, Kerry Van Zyl, Kerry Bukes, Connor Bergstrom, Tyler Humphries, Johan Bluknoot, and Daniel de Villiers down in ninth. Now, here's where the trick's going to come in. Daniel de Villiers needs to beat Dean Norkier at all costs to ensure that they can go and battle out. If he loses out to Dean Norkier, Dean takes the championship. If he loses out to Johan Bluknoot, who is running in third in the championship, he will land up falling out of the running order. He's on 259 points. Dean Norkier is on 249, and 236 is Johan Bluknoot. That being said, the scores are follows. First place is worth 50 points. Second is 43 points. Third is 38. Fourth is 35. Fifth, 32. So top 5 is what's needed to make it all work. And so far, de Villiers sitting in 9th. And unfortunately, that's not going to score well for him, where he'll only be scoring down 24 points for his race. So definitely something to keep an eye out for as drivers look to give it that little bit all. Fleming Bauer trying his best to close up to Dean Norkier out there in the McLaren. And something he's been quite used to is the McLaren 720S, looking to put a bit of a hammer to it all. Now remember, Fleming Bauer is not involved in the championship. He's not in the top 10 of the championship. But he can become a very, very critical role in the championship to prevent others from scoring points. And that will change things out. So Fleming Bauer, who's looking to run away, may actually go and stop a whole bunch of drivers from scoring points that can move him up through the order. He's the joker card here that can make or break the championship. Stingers Racing also coming out in full force. They're going to be putting in a bit of support for the fellow Chris Collison. Took me a while to eventually get that actually started out in the sprint series, where I called him Chris Collision for many, many times. And it's good to be out there. It's always good to see how the drivers are going to go in this battle. So, with so much going on, so much on the line, championships on the line, and the final running of the GT3 Sprint Series on ACC on a Wednesday is here. This is not only to score big for the championship, it's also to take home the winning of the final race here at RaceFace.Pro for the GT3 Sprint Series. Before we take the break and return with the muchly anticipated Lamar Ultimate, moving from a Sunday to a Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that one. It's going to be a great one to keep an eye out for. And taking a look at our stands, Alan Patterson going and putting a bit of a shout out for the PWSR team. Always good to see, supporting his drivers that have actually been going and doing a bit of racing overseas in the ERA. So good to see them going out and having a bit of fun out there. And also Jan Beger-Krobler, one of our top drivers in iRacing and, well, can say ACC as well. Shoulder's doing okay. It's attached to the body, sort of. But it's still a bit of aches and pains, and got a little bit of assistance from everything else to just try and keep functioning. Got to bring you a live race. We've got to enjoy the racing and got to have a bit of fun. But don't worry, haven't forgotten about the BMW M2s that should be going out tomorrow. Dean Norkier holding first place. Fleming Bauer in second. Tyler Humphries in third. He's been on a absolute climb. Jason Farmer looking to try and improve as he comes down to the final two corners. Track limits around this circuit is rather difficult. Kerry Van Zyl is currently in 5th. Kerry Bukes, Connor Bergstrom, Herman Provical is trying to improve his time. It's going to be an 8. So let's see if Jason Farmer has enough in the legs of the Griffin Sim Racing Ferrari. And unfortunately not ending out in 4th place. So he's going to be right behind next to Tyler Humphries on the start. Herman Provical in 8th. Has he got enough to run it out a little bit further? He's in 8th place and will remain in 8th. Daniel de Villiers, critical point for him here to score major points. Needs to get into that top 5. Go at all costs. Point 2 as he comes across the line is going to be enough. Puts him into 5th place of the race. So Gonna see an interesting time out here, and it's gonna be a close one, folks. It's gonna be an exciting run, I have to admit. Drivers looking to really get that little bit of a hammer down on where they can get some movement up through the race here at the beautiful circuit of the Nürburgring. This is not Nürburgring, this is Red Bull going and having a bit of fun out there. So with that being said, we are now into the final moments. Drivers getting ready, taking that final deep breath before it all becomes unglued. The Red Bull Ring is no easy feat. The track itself leans to a lot of just slipstreaming to really dig down deep and figure out where you're going to come out on top here. How are you going to come out on top versus the likes of the competition? And you got to be sure that you are ready for the action. It's going to be an exciting one. It's going to be a difficult one. And it will lead to drivers pushing the boundaries on what they can do. So, as we get ready to line up on the grid, we will see the guys getting all set to go for the RaceFace GT3 Sprint Series. The final RaceFace GT3 Sprint Series on a Wednesday, as it will fade away and cement their names in it. So this is going to be a bit of a wild one, and what we're going to try and do, something a little bit wild and wacky, is we'll try and share that points with you guys so we can see who is where in the running order as we get ready to count down. So let's test my magic. Let's see how good I am in terms of a streamer. Probably not very good, but you know, you live, you learn, you try. You can only go wrong once, I think. So we get ready to go. Drivers will be at the ready and see how things are going to go in the race. As they start to roll off the line, getting ready to go. Fortunately, not able to do that just as yet. So, figure out a plan. Don't worry, guys. We'll figure out a plan to show the points. But as our drivers make their way through, they're going to be getting their tires all warmed up for the final race of the series. This has been a legendary run. This has been the series that's been called for ages and ages and ages. It left, it returned. It came back bigger, better, stronger. Drivers all flocked to be in it, getting themselves sorted and ready for the racing action. Now it comes down to this, the final dying moments to really show what they can do. So let's go through our grid walk quickly of the RaceFace.Pro GT3 Sprint Series. And it's Dean Milkier out in first place. Fleming Bauer in second. Tyler Humphries in third place in the pink Aston Martin. Jason Farmer, for the second last time wearing the Griffin simracing colours, will be in fourth place. Daniel de Villiers in fifth. Gerry van Zyl in sixth. Gerrit Bukes in seventh. Conor Bergstrom in eighth. Herman Provical in ninth. 10th place is Johan Blicknote. Rowan van der Walt. Chris Collison. Loic Randebel. Jan Verveers, along with Tristan Herbst in 15th. Jeffrey LaRue in 16th, Henry Platt in 17th, 18th Chris Biermeister, and then we got our new driver to the grid, Lubert Mankies, along with Henk Pieterse, Hansi Meiberg, and Hanko Mankies, going and rounding out the rear. So good to see. We got a bit of a family duo coming in. Yeah, he said trio. Who knows? Maybe there is a trio that's involved. But it is going to be a great one. So awesome to see the drivers getting ready to go. Points are on the line here. Remember, first place is worth 50 points. Daniel de Villiers on 259 points. Dean Milkier on 249. And Johan Blicknote on 236 points. Gerrit Books is on 209, lying in 4th. As we get ready to go, Dean Norkier looking to lead out the pack. Fleming Bauer looking to put an impact here. He's not in the top 10 of the championship, but can take away crucial points. He's the joker card of it all. Going around, lines up with Tyler Humphries, who's not in the top 10 as well. He's looking to get the jump. Jason Farmer, Daniel De Villiers, Dean Norkier ready to go. As lights on, lights on, lights on, lights on. 45 minutes of racing. Round 8, the final round for our ACC GT3 series here at RaceFace. And the race is on with Dean Norkier getting a great launch off a line. Tyler Humphries tried closing the door early on, and you can immediately see Daniel De Villiers trying to put his nose up on the inside. Dean Norkier a little bit off circuit though, goes and runs out a bit wide. Tyler Humphries gets the drive on Fleming Bauer as they continue on. Jason Farmer slots in. He has got Daniel De Villiers all over the back of him. And the two, despite being teammates now on, they are fighting in two different colors in a driver's championship. 3 wide into turn 4. And unfortunately, Jason Farmer getting a little bit of contact there. So is Fleming Bauer starting to tip through the order. Chris Colson going a little bit down the order as he tries to get himself together. Terry Van Sale gets past him. Gerrit Bukes, I do apologize, was a chap that went out wide. Jeffrey LaRue, Connor Bergstrom going side by side with Loic Randabel, the two teammates, going and just working their way through. Has likes of Jean Verveers, Ruan van der Walt, Tristan Herbst trying to make up some time. Chris Collison closing up on the back of him. Henk Pieterse, Chris Buurmester is trying to make up some time. Henry Platt, Henko Mankies, Hansi Marburg, and Lubert Mankies a little bit further down. But out in front, we are starting to see the climb of Dean Norkier. He's got Tyler Humphries, though, hunting him down at this point, trying to make up any bit of time in the Aston Martin. Got some good straight line on him. Daniel De Villiers trying to keep the likes of Fleming Bauer at bay as they hunt each other down. Remember, Daniel De Villiers needs to finish ahead of Dean Norkier at all costs to be able to take the championship. Anything beyond that is definitely going to hurt him, as we do see that is Jeffrey LaRue and Herman Provicore having a little bit of side-by-side ding-dong battle. Unfortunately, Herman jumps down the order, so he's going to have to be very careful. Jean Fiers looks up on the inside, trying to get a pass done and dusted into turn 1. And immediately, Ruan van der Walt is going to get the drive around the outside. So is Tristan, now needing to keep in the tow. If he can just follow through, he will be able to lock it down heading into turn 4. So Tristan getting ahead of Jean Verveers, who's not going to give up. The Trail Bullets are not known to give up their time. And we do see Lubert Mankies going and side by side with the likes of Hanko Mankies, and that has Hansi Myberg in the mix. Fantastic. Now it's going to see a bit of battles between the teams, and Henry Platt sitting in 21st position as they make their way through it. Hansi Myberg trying to crawl up in between the two brothers and is fighting his way through. So he's going to have to really work hard here. The two brothers going and working and making themselves well known. Chris Buurmester and Henk Pieterse look like they've had a bit of contact between one another, the 73 and 74. Let's quickly take a look at this. So this is a drag race down towards turn 5. The driver's trying to get a little bit more time underneath him, and it does look like it's Buurmester up on the inside. Oh, tried going in, but unfortunately a bit of understeer also where there's no room to go. Landed up with a bit of contact there. Jason Farmer keeping the pressure on Fleming Bauer as they continue their drive, and Kerry Fonzel's got likes of Kerry Bukes both in the Ford Mustangs trying to get the drive on one another. Henry Platt now onto the back of Hanko Mankies. Henk Pieterse losing out to the likes of Lubert Mankies, and Hansi Myberg going to get a swing on past under braking. So Henk Pieterse going really down the order there and starting to feel it. Hanko dealing with Henry at the moment as they fight for it, as we do see the likes of Tyler Humphries and Dean Norkier. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle coming in from likes of Dean Norkier. I'm not quite sure why. It looks like they may have had a little bit of contact with one another, and the wiggle's just a bit of a warning of don't do that, buddy. But all that has done is allowed the likes of Daniel De Villiers to get a lot closer. So is Fleming Bauer, as Tyler Humphries trying to hold the inside line, runs out wide. He's going to get a little bit of an undercut here. Whoa, sweeps across the nose of Dean Norkier as he tries to bring that Aston Martin back. Side by side they go, and even Daniel De Villiers and Fleming Bauer having a go in the background And a little bit of contact yet again. Oh, that's not the way you want to go. And late on the anchors for the likes of Tyler Humphries. Runs out wide, threw himself out wide, tries to rejoin, a little bit of side-on contact with Dean Norkia. Carries on the drive, but that's gone and killed it all. And immediately, Daniel de Villiers, Fleming Bauer, and Jason Farmer in tow. As we do see Tyler moving left to right. Oh, not quite. Got to be careful. And there's the contact as Daniel de Villiers and Tyler Humphries have a bit of a go. Oh, that is one of the Pandacity Mustangs going out wide. And that looks to be Gerry van Zyl, who went and lost out that little bit of time. So he's able to try and get himself going. Daniel de Villiers having Jason Farmer up on the inside. The two of them side by side, launching their way through. Daniel de Villiers needs to finish ahead of the likes of Dean Norkia to be able to win. Jason Farmer, on the other hand, looking to capitalize points in what better way than the new team of PWSR they signed up with to go and beat out both drivers. Gerry van Zyl has got Loic Randebel in his sights. Loic trying everything he can to keep the car in order. Understeers off. BMW having a battling time out there. Gerry van Zyl and Herman Provical now having a good go at one another. Looks left, looks right, trying to go through. Gerry van Zyl keeps a stern on the middle to keep that Mustang in check. That's allowed a bit of a train to form up behind him. Herman and Tristan Herbst now putting a bit of a battle on him. Tristan trying to look around the outside, switches the inside. Rowan van der Walt immediately coming back at him in tow. So this is going to be a bit of a wild run on the way through as Rowan van der Walt trying to go around the outside. Switches back for the inside, undercut. Oh, the tail just getting a little bit loose. Tyre's not living with that. Johan Verveers having Chris Collison, and here comes Tyler Humphries on the return after going off circuit. So he's now trying everything he can to reclaim a few positions. Down in 15th. Absolutely nail-biter between them all. Chris Collison up on the inside of Verveers. He ran out wide. All three of them ran out wide. And immediately we have Chris Biermeister trying to stay away from the curb. Does not want to get too involved there. Tristan Herbst now fighting out with Rowan van der Walt. And let's see if the big Bentley is going to be late on the anchors. Try to get it done and dusted. Holds the corner. And immediately Rowan van der Walt gets the power down in the McLaren 720S Evo. Gets the power on and continues on the drive. So great to see that the drivers are pushing themselves that little bit more up the road. Trying to see where they move up and where can they get the run through it all. And this is turning into a bit of a wild one for all our drivers for the GT3. Oh, that's Tyler Humphries pointing the wrong way. And not ideal circumstances for him in the Aston Martin. So Tristan Herbst going and trying to make his way around the circuit. We'll have to keep an eye on Rowan van der Walt, but Tyler Humphries looked like he may have had a bit of contact with the 222, and it's the 222 that he had a little bit of a run with. So trying to defend, holding middle of the circuit, has the switch around down on him, tries to come back, put a little bit of a squeeze. Can he get it all sorted out? Oh, and there is the Stingers giving a little bit of a heave-ho situation. Gets him turned round and now pointing in the wrong direction. But he's up and going and still in the run. Herman Provical up onto the back of Loic Randebel. The two of them are going to pull each other along. Loic, part of the Omnis Gaming team. Herman, part of the Omnis Gaming Nitro team. And looking to make his way through. Sorry, both are in the Nitro team. It's going to be late on the brakes. Try and get it done and dusted. And it's a sneaky move up from Rowan van der Walt. A bit of a dive there, bit of contact on the way through. Tristan Herbst going to capitalize on it as well. He sees his mate dropping down now into the tow as Rowan van der Walt, a hard push to get it done and dusted. A little bit further up the road, Conor Bergstrom onto the back of Jeffrey LaRue as they go and fight it out. We're getting reports that Jan Blicknote had a brake problem, and that is why he's retired. That is not going well, his put. So I mean, oh man, that is a sad retirement, and considering he's been on an absolute charge, the championship, being third in the championship, now completely out of the running. It's never a way you want to go. Absolutely never a way you want to throw the championship to one side, and it's definitely not the way you want to see it. Jason Farmer keeping the pressure on Daniel de Villiers. Fleming Bauer sitting in the middle of him. with Dean Kier running out in first place. So Dean's so far putting open the gap here, but Jason Farmer, ironically enough, has done the fastest lap time of the race, a 1:28.7 dead. So he is currently quicker than all 3 cars ahead of him and looking to fight their way through. Tristan Herbst going side by side with Loic Randebel as they make their way towards turn 4. Got to be hard on the anchors. Big Ben's going to try and sneak on through, does so, and Loic's going to try and go back for the undercuts at this point, with Chris Collison making up a bit of time on both of them. So while there's a bit of a fight out between the 2 teammates, it's now going to play into Chris Collison's hand as he tries to make his way through. So going to be a proper run on the order, and we're going to have to see who will be able to get going. So off to the calculators, folks. Let's see what's needed. 10 points is what's separating the drivers. 50 points if you come in first place, and where the likes of Daniel de Villiers is in third with Jason Farmer on his tail, he is going to be down the order of that. He's going to be scoring at the moment 38 points. So that point deficit is definitely going to hurt his chances of winning. And it is going to be scrambling at this point. Because if the finishing order stays the same, Daniel de Villiers on 250 points. Off to my calculator. I'm not very good at math. So he will be on 289 points. Dean Kier on 249 would get the win because he would have 50. Will be on 299. So it'll be a 10-point wipe across the board there. And that is not ideal circumstances for de Villiers. He's been working quite hard to try and claw his way back. Tyler Humphries on his climb, as we do see Henk Pieterse coming to a stop. And a bit of an odd one for the 73 car. It had a few escapades off the circuit. Let's quickly take a look and see what happened into turn 1. So, carrying a lot of momentum through into turn 1. Late on the anchors. Having the rear step out. Oh, just a tad. And, oh, that's all she needed. Knock against the wall. Tried getting it going. Unfortunately, going off circuit yet again. That's going to be a bit of repair work for Henk Pieterse and the Trail Bullets team. But we do have a multitude of spares at their disposal for teams to start using. Chris Collison making the drive on Loic Randebel just ahead of him. Connor Bergstrom trying to keep in the toe of Jeffrey Leroux as they make their way through. So far, Dean Kier 2.3 seconds away from Fleming Bauer. Daniel de Villiers is second off Fleming, and Jason Farmer is a second off him. So drivers are trying to make their way through and capitalize. This circuit, if you drop out of the slipstream, you're in for a world of hurt. So you got to either make sure that you're keeping up a positive pace, as we do see a move from Connor Bergstrom on the inside of Leroux. And Leroux now having to just get on the power, trying to do everything he can. Side by side they go. And Connor Bergstrom, unfortunately, just not having enough straight line to contend. He's going to look for the next corner into turn 5. Hard on the anchors, puts the car in. He's got the apex, forces the 720S Evo out onto the rubbish, and now needs to try and keep his way going. Leroux, a little bit slower through there, has got the inside advantage as side by side they go. Absolutely well done and well held by both drivers. Corner to corner and nearly into the other corner. But Connor Bergstrom now having to get into the toe and will move his way through. Chris Collison having Loic Randebel all over the back of him, trying to get on by, and these two also sharing a bit of paintwork with one another. Jean Fiers, after having the retirement of his teammate, is in it for the minute, the last of the bullets to go and take it out. And has he got the name of Loic Randebel written on the likes of that bullet? Well, we'll find out. Chris Biermeister looking to also pull his shot and try and figure out where he can get a pass done and dusted. So Jean Fiers onto the back of Loic Randebel. The Ferrari 296 very, very dominant on the circuit under braking if he can get that nose ahead. But unfortunately, not going to work out well for him. Connor Bergstrom and Leroux still fighting it out between one another as they try and figure out where to go from here. This is going to be a bit of a wild one for the drivers, but Still so much in this race. It has got 30 minutes to go. We've only had 15 minutes of racing, and so far we have seen some incredible stuff around this track. And just to inform everyone, it is 38 degrees track temperature, 28 degrees air temperature. So it is incredibly hot out there, and tires are starting to take that beating all the way through, starting to feel that pain, and drivers are going to have to really get going. So we're getting reports that Bucas also on and off issues with the brake pedal, and now getting a little bit more of problems going and happening out there. Unfortunately, it does look like some mechanical failure starting to kick in. And drivers needing to do a little bit of work in the pits with the pit crew, try and get themselves done and dusted. Conor Bergstrom, though, dealing with LaRue, and is going and fighting it out at the moment as they claw back a little bit of time. Conor Bergstrom into the toe, Jeffrey LaRue. This is our closest fight on battle on circuit at the moment, and Conor Bergstrom sends it up on the inside. Can he make it stick? He's got to have lacquered drive when he comes out of 4. Just not able to get it going. And that's an unfortunate problem. If you go for that inside line, you've got to get your gearing right. Second gear corner, flick it down to first, get the power on. It's going to lighten the rear. And boot it up to second. It's going to be your best option. Second gear through here into third, as the drivers giving it everything they got. We take a look at LaRue trying to battle out, and there is the likes of Conor Bergstrom, second gear through the corner. He's going to engage third, a bit of a light lift into second to continue on. Interesting running on it. The guys actually gearing down one less for the track, and obviously temperatures coming into play. Third gear, and go through here and down into second at the bottom of the hairpin, and you can see Kerry Van Sale closing up that gap, but it's definitely making up a bit of a difference to him, just changing his gearing ever so slightly. And what is going to be a right run for his money. Second gear towards the top of Kerry Van Sale, immediately onto the back of him. Now looking to try and close up some of the running order. So I mean, this is going to be a proper run. So Conor Bergstrom trying to do everything he can, with LaRue defending as much as possible, as we do take a look up towards third and second place. Fleming Bauer has got Daniel De Villiers looking at him. Now De Villiers is in a race for his life here to try and hold the points. Now I just want to find out if he comes in second place, will it be enough to hold the championship? 259 points for Daniel De Villiers. We'll have to try and hold back and get into second place. Let's quickly take a look at the scoring. I'm doing a bit of math on the fly at this point to see where he can go. So that'll be 302, and for the likes of our leader Dino Kier. So if and this is a big if, folks, if Daniel De Villiers can lock in second place, he will beat Dino Kier by 3 points at current racing order. So Daniel De Villiers needs to get ahead of Fleming Bauer. He's going to take a look on the inside, looks to try and get the pass done and dusted, and does so. So he needs to remain right where he is now to ensure that he will have 3 points at the end. Now this is definitely going to be an interesting one, because this will be unofficial, and that until the stewards and all that have gone through their stuff. So we'll see. Fleming Bauer down in third now, trying to make up some time, and is making up a lot of time as he's onto the back of Daniel De Villiers. Jason Farmer on a superfly of a drive. Kerry Bukes trying to make up some time, and Conor Bergstrom in for a battle as LaRue's on the back of him. Kerry Van Sale is all over the back there as well. Herman Provikel trying to make up some time. Room for the vault. Tristan Herbst down in 11th. 12th is Chris Collison, Loic Randall, Jean Verviers, keeping the pressure up on Loic Randall just ahead of him. Henry Platt, Chris Biermeister, Tyler Humphries, Lubit Mankies, oh, biting the dirt there just as we came across to him. Hansi Meiberg and Hanko Mankies trying to make up some time. Good to see that the brothers are racing, but it's a little bit painful there. And see how it's going to go. Tyler Humphries going and fighting out with Chris Biermeister, and Tyler Humphries now really needing to put the power down to break away as much as possible from the likes of Tyler Humphries. And Chris, being known for some heavy defending, well, Tyler Humphries looking to get past him quite quickly, ensure he could stay in for the fight. The Aston Martin late on the brakes and really dives to the front of the nose. It's quite soft towards the nose, and also putting a lot of brakes on the nose and allowing the rear to come up. Jean Verviers getting the drive on Loic Randall. We'll look around the outside. Loic trying to defend the inside. It's going to have to go down the gears quite a bit here, as Henry Platt, who's making up some time, will slot in, seeing both fighting it out, and look to try and put his nose forward. So good to see the drivers really giving it everything they got to move their way up through the order. Now, we are getting a bit of reports, though, that Jason Farmer's time, who has been really stepping up the pace, has been for some private coaching. And he's getting that one-on-one sim coaching that's able to move him forward, done by Zaya Essa, and has been improving his time. So he's quite happy about that one, which is always fantastic to see the guys doing everything they can and where they can make their way through. So let's see how the drivers are going to battle their way through. And so far, with a 128.4 being the fastest lap set by Dean Alkia, and everyone running in those 128s up until the likes of Kerry Bukes is in 129s. Ruben van der Walt, though, loses out a little bit of a run. LaRue trying to get the run on likes of Kerry van Zale after having a bit of an off-track excursion. As we all look to... Oh, that is a bit of contact with LaRue and likes of Herman. Unfortunately, going and running into the side of one another. So Herman hoping to get a run. And this is going to be a proper battle as LaRue and Rome van der Walt have now closed out Herman a little bit moving forward. And let me see. Herman Provisal. Is that the way to say it? Herman Provisal? Pervisal? Pervival. Yeah. Pervi. So it's Percival. Percival. There we go. Percival. Took me a bit of time to get it. I mean, it's going to be a proper run. Tristan Herbst and Chris Collison going and fighting out as they make their way through the order. Pervisal. Getting corrected by everyone out there. It's always fantastic. I love to see it. And, you know, hopefully I got it right. Yay, I got it right. See, Mom, I can spell. Sort of, maybe. Well, Loic Randall saying, see, Mom. Oh, man, that is contact for Fiers and Henry Platt. There, Mom, I forgot my brakes and unfortunately landed up with one of the cars, ventured off. Jean Fiers trying to rejoin the track. Henry Platt trying to slow down to Allowed, but that is Tyler Humphries, Chris Biermeister, and Loic Randall saying thank you very much and making their way through. As good to see the drivers makes their climb on the way of the order. Now, Fleming Bauer, one of the conversations that has been talking in the pits is whether he's going to get into the fight for the championship. Now, if Fleming Bauer really felt like it, he could put himself and get himself into the fight. If he takes second place, he dashes the hopes of Daniel de Villiers' 3 points. And that might not be a bad thing. He might actually go for it just to prove a point at this way, because he's 0.5. He is closing. So he's going to have to fight his way through. And our drivers having to make their way through. Herman Pervisal dealing with Ruan van der Walt onto the back of him. Run getting a bad drive, and Jeffrey LaRue getting a far better one. Tristan Herbst trying to break away from Chris Collison, who is closing up for the Singers Racing, all the way out from the UK, 12th position, just 2 points out of the top 10. This is going to be a bit of a wild one. And, oh, under braking, Fleming Bauer getting very, very close. 0.2 of a second coming out of the corner. And it's definitely a thought in the back of the head as we go through the gearing. He's trying to keep ahead of Jason Farmer, who wants to have a go. You can see how much he actually closes up under braking. So Fleming Bauer is sitting there watching. Now, as a driver, you want to finish in the highest place you can. If you want to help a friend out, well, that's one thing, but you got to remember, you're in a race. And all he's doing is he's catching up. And Jason Farmer looks to capitalize on points here. He's running in 4th position, so this is going to be a proper run, and I gotta say, absolutely great stuff to see the drivers pushing themselves out a little bit further. Oh, contact, it looks like, between Tyler Humphries and the 74 of Chris Biermesser. No change in position, though. Maybe just a little bit of a love tap. A bit of sharing of pink and purple. Well, we're about to find out under braking as, oh, Tyler switch left, switch right. Tried looking for the inside line, and there's the contact. And did stop on track to allow positions to reset. As Tyler does get past Chris Biermester and will continue on his run. So this is going to be a huge, huge run for the drivers down to the last 19 minutes of the race. Dean Norkia, Daniel De Villiers, Fleming Bauer, Jason Farmer running in 4th place, trying to go and fight it out. I mean, this is going to be a wild, wild one. As Kurt Bukes trying to close up Connor Bergstrom, Kerry van Sale, and Herman Povsel, along with likes of Ram van der Walt and Jeffrey LaRue, who are making their way around. As Johan Verveers, though, is out and stopped. The Trail Bullets off the circuit. Please tell me no. Come on, Johan. Get that car out. Don't let it be. Do not let the Trail Bullets in there. You've got to get that car going, and it's got to be a proper run. It might not be for, you're not in for the points, but just do it for the people, for the Trail Bullets. Do it for the fans, buddy. After having a bit of a problem there, looks like he may have scored some damage. Jason Farmer keeping the pressure on Fleming Bauer. Just ahead of him, Daniel De Villiers running in 2nd place. Looks to try and open up the gap. 0.8 of a second between Fleming Bauer and the likes of Jason Farmer, as they really try and make their way through. Hansi Myberg all over the back of the debut run of Lubert Mankies, who is having a great time out there, and Hansi having a difficult time getting by. And Johan Verveers for the Trail Bullets team has retired, making that entire team retire in the final race. Oh man, this is just gut-wrenching, I won't lie. This is properly gut-wrenching to see. And no, I still stand by. This is the final race of the RaceFace.Pro GT3 Sprint Series on ACC. Let that sink in. If you do not cross the line now, you never will. Ever. It's gone. And I firmly stand. Go and finish the story. Go out and cross that line. If it's the last of its kind, the last of it, because after this, it's done. Rather see it through. Be that name on the board. Don't go and throw the towel out. So if anyone has contact to those that have left the race, if there's a way they can get them in, they need to get going. They need to be out there. They need a race. So I'm calling out to those drivers. It's the last time you get to see the checker flag of the RaceFace.Pro GT3 Sprint Series on ACC. That's gone after this, and we're moving on to Le Mans Ultimate. So rather cross that line, and much like Cody Rhodes always says in the world of wrestling, he's here to finish the story. That's time for you guys to finish the story. Ram van der Walt, though, is all over the back of Herman Povsel, and trying to get a little bit more time as Tyler Humphries allows Chris Biermester to come on by. So Chris gets the position back, and looks to close up. Henry Platt under braking, now trying to make his fight there. As Lubertbank, battling out with Hansi Myberg at the back. These two have been rocketing nose to tail. We haven't been sharing too much light onto this battle, but they have, for the last 6 laps, been nose to tail, roughly 0.5 of a second, being the biggest between them. So always good to see the drivers giving each other a good go. And Hansi Myberg going and finding out what some of the new ones, the Quacha Racing, going and fighting his way through. Oh no, that's the 44. Herman Povesel going and landing up into the dirt and losing out 2 positions as Chris Collison comes on by and says thank you very much. Now he's going to go and move his way forward. So good to see that Chris keeping up that consistency. Jason Farmer, 0.1, is 1 second off Fleming Bauer. Fleming Bauer is 1 second off Daniel De Villiers as they fight their way through 14 minutes and 50 seconds. Dean Nokia out in first place is 4 seconds up the road and clear. For Daniel De Villiers, this is all or nothing for him. As Fleming Bauer pulls the trigger and goes in for the pass, it will take away the championship hopes. Jason Farmer will run as close as he can for the fight, hoping for the drivers to run into a mistake as they continue on. This is going to be a proper run as Lubertbank getting the drive. Hansi Myberg running out a little bit wide there, out of the final corner. Now has to play a bit of a catch-up. 1 second behind. He's going to have to make it up. Under braking, really going for a late send here. Try and make up some time and close up the order. Tyler Humphries all over the back of Chris Biermester and Henry Platt joining in for the fray as well. For the last 13 minutes of this race, it's going to be a nose-to-tail between a multitude of drivers fighting it out for last positions on the board for the final round and the final race of the RaceFace.Pro GT3 Sprint Series on Assetto Corsa Competizione on a Wednesday. It will fall away, so drivers are looking to clinch as many points as possible, cement their names in history, and continue on the legacy as it goes on. Tyler Humphries still putting on a huge amount of pressure. He's one of our close battles all the way through. Hansi Myberg is 0.8 off Lubertbank. He's going 1 second, so he's trying everything he can. But Tyler Humphries soaring away at the wheel, trying to figure out where can he get the drive. Picks up a lot through the final 2 corners, and there's a bit of understeer starting to creep in on the car as he runs out a little bit wide. Hansi Myberg onto the back of Lubertbank. He's trying to get a little bit more of a run there, and beautifully kept in order for the Ferrari 296 driver, debuting here along with his brother Anko Moinkies, who's down in 19th, been making up a good bit of time. Chris Biermester loses out to Tyler Humphries as they continue on their drive at the moment. And absolutely great stuff to see drivers pushing themselves out a little bit more. Henry Platt trying to go around likes of Chris Biermester, looks for the undercut, gets power down. He will get the drive sufficiently to get into the fight here. Chris going and defending that inside line, lets it go a little bit to try and open the corner up. Henry Platt, on the other hand, is going to go straight for the neck and couldn't quite get that pass done and dusted. Chris in the Ferrari getting it to rotate just enough to get himself through the corner. Fleming Bauer, 0.5 of a second to Daniel De Villiers. The Pandacity infiltrate, now looking to put enough pressure onto the back of Daniel, who is on the climb here. So, I mean, this is going to be who is in for the run of a lifetime. Will Fleming Bauer go for the pass? That is what we're wondering. Is he going to get close enough? He is trying, though. Gets a drive out of turn 4. He's into the slipstream, pulling himself along. This may be a good opportunity for him to try and keep nice and close. Turn 5 won't be it, but if he can get close for turn 6, turn 7, he has an opportunity to go for the undercut and really try and battle it back. Closes up under braking, and the likes of Daniel De Villiers now needing to get his elbows out racing here. Get that car a little bit wider. Watch the mirrors very, very clear to see what this McLaren's going to do. And it is going to be a proper run. Hansi Myberg fighting it out with Mankies and doing a great job. Lubitz is having a great one out there for the Quacha Racing and having a absolute ding-dong battle a little bit further away. Henko Menke's a little bit trying to also play catch up on the way through. Fleming Bauer makes up the run. Daniel de Villiers off circuit. This costs him time. And Fleming Bauer's going to get the drive. Out of the final corner they go. In the slipstream. Pulling himself along. Fleming Bauer has the opportunity to get into the slipstream. Turn 1's not going to be a possibility. But if he can get the run out of turn 1 into turn 2, he is going to be able to close up that gap. Daniel de Villiers trying to open it up as much as possible. Going towards the outside. He wants to defend the lines as much as possible. Point 4 is going to be a proper run. Daniel de Villiers going to fight it out. If Fleming Bauer can get past the likes of Daniel de Villiers, means he has got past the current leader of the championship in the Pandacity car that he's newly signed with. Daniel de Villiers trying to hold on for that last bit of championship hopes. And Jason Farmer, don't count him out for the Griffin Sim Racing team. It's his final 2 times that he's going to be running in those colours. We'll look to try and close up the gap, score some major points for him as they make their way through. De Villiers starting to get shaken, starting to get worried. 9 minutes and 44 seconds as they chase each other down. And it's all within a second of one another. All the pressure coming in to Daniel de Villiers, who will see this McLaren in his rearview mirror, pushing on, pushing to get the pass done and dusted. Daniel sweeps out right, tries to carry a lot of momentum through. This time around, all kept it perfectly fine, didn't lose out too much drive there. And Fleming Bauer, no answer for that, will have to remain in the tow. Jason Farmer, however, has closed up the gap. I mean, this is going to be a monster run, as Fleming Bauer has an opportunity to take away the championship for Daniel de Villiers. Jason Farmer has an opportunity to make a fight for himself, as we do see Libert Mankies and Hansi Myberg still going wheel to wheel. Hansi has been in fights in the past, but I think this is one of the good ones he can go and put up, saying, I had a fight with the Quacker Racing on their debut, and gotta say, a great race. So this is going to be wild all the way through. Jason Farmer, Fleming Bauer, and Daniel de Villiers. We also got Herman Professor going up against Chris Collison, 1.5 seconds ahead. Henry Plutz and Chris Biermeister, 1.8 seconds separating them. There is not much time to pull the trigger here. You got to go for the dive. You got to go for the pass. You really got to go and fight your way through. Jason Farmer now moving on from Griffin Sim Racing team, will be moving to PWSR. So he is seeing his future teammate under some serious pressure and now fighting for his life, as Daniel de Villiers is wanting this McLaren to just disappear out of the rearview mirror. 0.4 of a second separating. Fleming Bauer has gotten that a little bit quicker on the last lap. Is he going to be able to make up this time? It is going to be close though, as Daniel de Villiers keeping a very close eye. We jump on board with the rear spoiler, that race for hope for his teammate of the Miller family. Oh, on the back of the car, getting a bit of a show off, which is always fantastic to see in support of a fight against cancer. For all those that are fighting with cancer, the families, and also those that are fighting with cancer. Oh, Fleming Bauer showing the intent, and that infiltrate on the nose, maybe looking to infiltrate and take that second position away. I mean, this is going to be a proper run, as Daniel de Villiers late on the brakes. He runs out a bit wide, and this is going to open it up for Fleming Bauer to try and close up that gap. Tried, but he's also getting in a little bit with those damaged tires. Possibly the front starting to scrub off, and Jason Farmer, who's been waiting just long enough, has started closing up that gap. He has been part of it, and this may be an opportunity for Jason Farmer to score some positions. Fleming Bauer trying to close up the gap to Daniel de Villiers at the moment. This is going to be a proper run. And up on the inside, Fleming Bauer just not getting that run on Daniel de Villiers. Hansi Myberg and Lubert Mankies unfortunately had a bit of contact with one another, and they needing to continue on. But we are keeping an eye on second, third, and fourth place at the moment. And Fleming Bauer needing to just pull the trigger here. He's under some serious threat. Jason Farmer has been holding back just long enough to keep those tires alive. 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go for the pass. If Fleming Bauer doesn't get past Daniel de Villiers, he will have Jason Farmer immediately going in for the kill streak. So this is going to be a proper run. Jason Farmer has a huge run as Honko moves out the way and allows the drivers to come through, not going and affecting the race too much as Fleming Bauer would have loved to have that roadblock in the way for Daniel de Villiers. This is going to be a wild run. Late on the brakes, trying to send it in for the inside. Can't carry the momentum. De Villiers doing everything he can. Last 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Dean Norkia, well gone at this point, is just in a drive of his own. Daniel de Villiers wishes he was in that's lucky opportunity because he has got pressure the whole way through. Fleming Bauer and Daniel de Villiers have a history with one another, fighting it for championships long since the starting of the sprint series many years ago. And now it's come down to this, the final race where Fleming Bauer can be the wrench in that championship. And Daniel de Villiers knows that pressure. Fleming Bauer's trying to do everything he can to keep the pressure on. Jason Farmer, however, still in there, and he's keeping within under a second to both drivers as he knows he wants to go for it. So Jason has kept his tires alive. He needs to remain calm and really hit those brake markers. Just get it right to ensure that he continues on the run. Nivet Mainke's going and allowing Dean Norkia to come by. Will try everything he can to battle it out. 4 minutes to go. The Pandacity team looking to take that final second place. I mean, that is what's on the line here. Second of the final race of the ACC GT3 Sprint Series here in RaceFace. And it's all or nothing at this point. Tyler Humphries also going all onto the back of Tristan Herbst as he's trying to make his way through. Tristan, his final race in the ACC lot, looking to try and continue on. So here is where the ride is going to be, and the chase is on. The championship hangs in the balance for de Villiers to keep himself calm, to keep himself going, or will Fleming Bauer keep enough pressure, keeping that finger on the pulse, will be able to get by. And don't count out Jason Farmer as he is still hanging in for a fight. Tyler Humphries on the inside of Tristan Herbst as they battle it out there. Aston Martin not quite winning against a Bentley around the outside there, but doesn't stop him before as he tries to put the power down, looks for the undercut. Unfortunately, getting stopped on the apex. Will look for the inside line, heading into the final two corners. Puts his nose to look forward, couldn't quite get that pass done. Now Fleming Bauer and de Villiers, second and third, flying out in order. 0.2 of a second. Going to be a chase though. Who's late on the anchors? Try get it done and dusted. Immediately, Fleming getting a little bit squirrely under braking, trying everything he can. De Villiers not able to break away just as yet. As they continue on their drive, it is all or nothing. Jason Farmer breaking down to roughly about a second. LaRue and Collison going and fighting it out as well. Tristan and Tyler Humphries in a battle of their own. And Hanko going and allowing drivers to get on by. Does not want to get caught up in any boxing matches just as yet. Tyler Humphries and Tristan Herbst, though, having a little bit of an off-track excursion with one another. But we are going to remain for the final laps of this race with Fleming Bauer and Daniel de Villiers. The pressure both drivers are feeling. Jason Farmer's gone out wide. Fleming Bauer's got the drive. He looked for the inside line, just couldn't quite get it. And Fleming needing to get out of the throttle there. Tried everything he could to get going. De Villiers trying to open up that gap. The tires starting to fade. The pressure starting to feel. And it is going to be Fleming Bauer continuing on the charge. 1 minute and 23 seconds. Fleming Bauer, 1:29.5 was his last lap. Oh, had to dodge. Daniel de Villiers a bit slow through the corner. And that may have been enough to throw Fleming Bauer off. 1.3 seconds. That late break went and cost him. And I think that may have been it. as Daniel de Villiers opens up the gap. Tristan Herbst all over the back of Tyler Humphries. Henry Platt onto the back of them. But Fleming Bauer, 1.3 seconds separated him from Daniel de Villiers. 52 seconds to go. And it's all or nothing as, whoa, Tyler Humphries taking the off-track excursion of note. Gets around Tristan Herbst and Henry Platt trying to put his nose in for the fight as well. Jason Farmer, 1.8 seconds. So this is pretty much that. As Fleming now needing to try and get a little bit more of a run on through his race. Tristan Herbst runs out wide. Tyler Humphries got the inside line and now going to have a bit of a tough time. Tristan Herbst, a little bit of shake left and right, try and clear those tyres. And Tyler Humphries sweeps across the nose, late on the anchor. Tristan comes in on the inside. Oh, contact yet again. And that is only going to help out Henry Platt as he gets on by. Tristan Herbst getting pushed out a little bit wide there. Ruan van der Walt unfortunately spun out and is now in 8th place, heading towards pit lane. Oh, come on, Ruan. Get yourself going out there. Drops out Jeffrey LaRue, Chris Collison, all making their way through. Leader on the final lap, but ladies and gentlemen, Dean Lockyer, we haven't given him much airtime here today, as Dean Lockyer out of the Red Bull ring will be smiling ear to ear, but will not be smiling to take the championship, as Daniel de Villiers in 2nd place will remain 3 points ahead in the championship for the final championship of the ACC GT3 Sprint Series here on a Wednesday night of RaceFace. It has been a wild one. It has been a crazy one. It has come down to this, and these are unofficial. Might I add, they are unofficial because we do have the stewards that go through, but 14 seasons of existing, and it's come down to this. Dean Lockyer will come across the line to take the checkered flag in 1st place for the PWSR team, and in 2nd place, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your champion for season 14, the final champion, Daniel de Villiers, followed by Fleming Bauer, Jason Farmer, Gerrit Bukes will come across the line in 5th place, followed by Connor Bergstrom, Gerry van Zyl, Jeffrey LaRue, and Chris Collison are still fighting it out between one another as they try and maintain some pace here. LaRue going and putting a wheel just slightly out, will have a straight line and beat out Chris Collison as they get to the line, taking 8th and 9th. Herman, who's run out of fuel. Herman's run out of fuel again. 2nd time this season. And this is going to play into the hands of Tyler Humphries, who's got Henry Platt all over the back of him. Herman's going to lose out right at the line. Tyler Humphries comes across the line. Henry Platt, and you can immediately see a little bit of assistance coming in as Herman beats out Tristan as they come across the line. Ruan van der Walt, Loic Randebal, who's also rather slow through. He's going to be quite happy on his result, 15th. And you've got Chris Biermesser taking 16th. Hansi Myberg, our admin here at RaceFace.Pro. Hard-fought fight with 2 debuting drivers will come across the line in 17th position for the final time of the RaceFace.Pro GT3 Sprint Series. And we've got Hanko Monkeys and Lubit Monkeys who will take the remaining positions as they do. Wow, wow, wow. What a race. What excitement. What an incredible championship. And that, my friends, is the end of it all. That is the end of the ACC GT3 Sprint Series all the way through. What a race. What a time. And incredibly exciting to have the drivers going and pushing themselves that little bit further, going and pushing the boundaries on what they can do. And where is it all ending up? Well done to everyone. If it wasn't for that late break from the likes of Fleming Bauer, I think it may have been different for 2nd place. But you got to be in it to win it, and one mistake can cost you dearly. So, that being said, we're going to have a chat to a couple of the drivers on their absolutely stellar run, starting off with a newly signed to the team, Fleming Bauer, who takes up that 3rd place. and has put in a consistent effort to put the pressure on. Let's bring up Fleming Bauer for a bit of a chat. Fleming Bauer, welcome to the commentary box. Absolutely grand to have you, and what a race. I mean, it was nose to tail for you and Daniel de Villiers for a long time. Jason Farmer all over the back of you as well. How are you feeling?
Awesome, thanks, Stephen. Yeah, it was fun. It was quite fun. I know I'm not in the championship running or anything, so I tried to keep it clean. I didn't want to, impede in any of the championships, especially between Dean and Daniel. So it was just fun. Stayed behind. When I saw Dean pulling away a bit, I decided Daniel, go for it. It's a battle between them, and just stuck on the back of them.
Stuck on the back of them until braking a little bit harder than expected on the apex. How did you feel at that moment? Because that was the quickest we've ever seen you move the wheel out the way.
No, definitely. Red Bull Ring is one of those tracks. It goes well until it doesn't. So
Fair enough. I mean, Fleming, you have been around since the early days of the RaceFace.Pro GT3 Sprint Series, Season 14, being the epic conclusion to this Wednesday ACC racing. What's your thoughts being there, getting to see the flag for the final time, getting to see the championship through, and being one of the drivers out there on the grid?
no, it was awesome. We decided to join a bit late. I know that we were busy on a different sim for a while, and just decided, this is where we started, and we would have liked to finish it off, on the grandstand, for the final race of the Wednesday season.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Also, newly signed to the Pandacity team, been the big chat. How are you feeling coming from the Martian Racing team into the whole Pandacity team?
It's a great group of guys. We really enjoy it. It's a lot of chatter. It's me and Henry we had 4 drivers. It was a bit closed off in the sense of we wanted to expand, and we decided to rather take it to somewhere where it's already been a bit more situated or constructed in that area. And we're enjoying it a lot. It's a great group of guys, and they made us feel welcome from the start.
Absolutely incredible stuff. Well, before I let you go and enjoy the celebration of third place, anything you would like to say to our amazing partners here at RaceFace.Pro, to all our amazing fans that tune in, the petrol heads out there day in and day out, the drivers, the teams, everyone out, for your final words for the RaceFace.Pro GT3 Sprint Series here on ACC Season 14, being the epic conclusion and the final goodbye for it.
No, I'd like to say thank you to Hansi behind the scenes, Stephen, you on the commentating, Bertus, everyone, all the sponsors that made it possible for how long it's been. It's been a while, a couple of years, and I have to say it's just been so much fun progressing from the start up to where we are now, and I hope it comes back in maybe a couple of seasons or so on. I know they're moving on to a couple of new stuff, and anyone that's watching that doesn't do sim racing, give it a try, even if it's not at the highest level of entry stuff. Just come give it a shot. Everyone is awesome, community's great, and I think it's a fun place to be.
Absolutely great stuff. Fleming Bauer, congratulations on your third place and a well-fought race. No need to be bamboozled, as one would say, especially in the terms of our, epic conclusion to the Pandacity coming in. Let's bring in our winner of the race, because we want to end off with our champion. Second place in the championship, winner of this race, Dean Nokia of PWSR. Welcome to the commentary box. How are you feeling, buddy?
Man, oh man, oh man. That was good racing. A little bit of BPM, which is not what's the name, what people think. It's just a little bit of brown pants moments in the first 2 laps. But apart from that, it was fun. I'm not going to lie, it was quite fun.
Well, you've been on a rocket charge this past weekend. You took the win in ERA 3-hour solo. You come on a Wednesday night, you battle it out with the drivers and taking the win here at Red Bull Ring. But unfortunately, not able to grab that championship, but getting second in the championship. How are you feeling with the success until now? And just narrowly missing out the championship. And I know I'm chucking a bit of salt in the wounds here. 3 points threw you out of the championship.
I'm not too sure about that, to be honest with you, because according to me and Daniel's calculations, P1 to P2, 7 points, 2 points. Actually, you might be right. That's correct. I needed 3 points more than him. So we'll see what happens. I know there's an unfortunate incident against him, lodged against him, who's going to cost him 2 points. So we'll see. It's good fun. I don't mind if myself or a teammate wins. It's good. But that's what we were racing for this evening. And as for the recent charge, it's just about time that I get my shit in order, if I can put it that way.
Well, absolutely great stuff. And seems like it's all paying off for the racing at hand. Taking the win here at Red Bull Ring, the final season of the RaceFace.Pro GT3 ACC, before we say goodbye to it and move on with Lamar Ultimate coming on a Wednesday. I'm sure that also is a bit of a special moment, seeing that checkered flag through for the final time for this category that's been around for a good couple of years.
Yeah, it's going to be sad to see it go. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of sprints, to be honest with you. I feel, it's not where my strengths lie, unfortunately. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I do think people need to adapt and keep with the times. So if there's a new sim or something that's going to start getting that done, people will be silly not to start taking that and giving the opportunity to go there and fall behind. So I think it's a very good choice for them to do that while still concurrently running the Thursday Championship. So I think that's quite good. I'm sure some of the ACC drivers on Wednesdays will migrate elsewhere. And at the end of it, I think all communities are very balanced. So for me, that's very good to see. I'm sure you've noticed the same thing as well. Stephen, you're obviously part of almost every community there is.
It's been an interesting switch. Well, Dean, look here, and before I let you go and enjoy that first place and enjoy the celebrations, anything you would like to say to the amazing partners here at RaceFace.Pro, to the admins, to the drivers, the teams, and most importantly, our petrol friends, our petrol heads out there in the grandstands.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Thank you very much. Again, I think this is a good season ending. To everybody else who's racing and obviously moving to other things, and tomorrow night's race, good luck there. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there with you guys tomorrow, but all's well that ends well. And again, thank you so much, Stephen, for bringing the brilliant professional commentary as always, for Tristan for the professional production, and then for Hansi, he's very impatient, short-tempered, he'll reply when he reply. People still love him, even though he doesn't think so. And we notice what gets done behind the scenes. So apart from that, thank you so much to all the sponsors, and I hope you guys have a brilliant season.
Well, thank you very much, Dean Lokier of PWSR, taking the win tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together in a huge celebration, taking the final season of the RaceFace.Pro GT3 Sprint Series, the absolute finale in the Godzilla. Ladies and gentlemen, your Season 14 champion, your final Sprint Series champion here on ACC, Daniel, the Hitman de Villiers. How are you feeling? You have done it by 3 points by getting in second place. If Fleming Bauer got you, that would have been that. How are you feeling?
Hi, Stephen. No, I'm not confident enough that I took it. There are still some things happening in the background, unfortunately. So yeah, I can't celebrate yet.
Well, we'll wait to find out the official results, but from what we can see, it's pretty much a slam in for you. But how was the race for you from start to finish? I mean, the pressure must have been quite immense, going in as leading the championship, needing by 10 points, and knowing that you had to be in second place to be able to take that win.
Stephen, it was nerve-wracking. I couldn't get quali to work at all. So frustrated, and I had to do it on track, on pace. I'm pretty sure there's a few oaks that made way for me a bit, because they know they're not fighting in the championship. So yeah, thanks to them. But yeah, like I said, I can't celebrate yet. I'm not confident enough.
Well, we'll have to keep and see how it all goes. But Daniel, you've also been taking your way through, showing off what the Nissan GTR is. You took the gamble of switching back to the Nissan GTR. Being the final season of the Sprint Series here on ACC, you've been around since the early adoption of the Sprint Series. How do you feel seeing it close off? That checkered flag coming out for the final time, knowing that's it.
Stephen, I don't know, man. I don't know. Sorry, man. I don't know. I'm still flabbergasted a bit. If it is what it is, and I have it, I'm still speechless, man.
Well, absolutely tremendous stuff. Before we let you go and enjoy the celebrations, because I'm sure there will be the celebrations for you, and you may say you might not be confident, but I'm just putting it out there. Take it on the nose.
If I win, I'll spray you first with the Stevie Stumpy.
As long as there's no ice, that's the main thing. If there's ice in it, I don't want it. But Daniel, before I let you go and enjoy, anything you'd like to say to our amazing partners here at RaceFace.Pro, to all the teams, the drivers, to everyone out there in the background, the admin team, the stewarding team, all being a part of it and seeing you grow throughout the series, going for that win.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone, the organizers, you, Stephen, for streaming, and my team for supporting me and Dean, and the people there in the YouTube chat. Was going a bit wild today. Thank you for the support, and to, I think it was Herman Percival that pushed me over the finish line on the first race when I ran out of fuel.
And you didn't I owe it to
him. I owe it to him.
You didn't return the favor because he ran out of fuel this time round.
Really? Oh my goodness! I couldn't. I really couldn't.
Daniel, well done on it, and I'm saying congratulations as the champion, the final champion of the GT3 Sprint Series for Season 14, and you've done an incredible job going from the torpedo to the hitman to the ultimate defense to champion. I'm glad we got to see the growth of Daniel de Villiers, and I'm sure it's not the end.
Thank you, Stephen.
Daniel de Villiers, also a mentor in the background, might I point out. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that does bring us to the end of tonight's broadcast of the RaceFace.Pro GT3 Sprint Series. As we say farewell to it, we tip our hat, we say thank you for the service, and we move on to Le Mans Ultimate out on a Wednesday for some great racing there. Multi-class action, as always, entertaining. New sim, new challenges, new racing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's say a special thank you to our partners, Scallywags Drift Academy, Red Star Raceway, and Rhino Utility for being part of our season. A big thank you to them for all the amazing work they do and being part of the sim racing community in this incredible effort. And we've also got to say a massive thank you to all our stewards and our admin working behind the scenes. Hansi Myberg, you can't replace the chap. He works like an absolute dog, but to make sure the racing's out there, I'm glad that he had a lot of fun out on the track tonight, and a big thank you to him. Massive thank you to all the teams throughout the years being part of the Sprint Series, being a part of the core fundamentals and genetics of it. You guys made it for what it is. Absolutely incredible. And most importantly, a thank you to all you petrol heads that are absolutely mad to come in and week out to support the drivers, to be behind the teams, to watch it live or rewatch it in the future, be part of this amazing scene here at RaceFace.Pro, for all the hard work that has been put in by our fans, giving us all the reports saying this is how we'd like to see things grow, this is where we want to go, and also help drive the broadcasts forward into new grounds. A couple of new things coming in the very, very near future to the world of RaceFace.Pro, so don't miss out on our social medias. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to say thank you from myself. I'm Stephen Koenig and Tristan Herbs in the THC Productions, and we'd like to say a good morning, good afternoon, and all together now, good evening, and good night, folks.